Retail and fast food workers know the saying, the customer is always right. But to what extent is this true? It seems that Australian shoppers are growing quite frustrated with their service, and workers are copying the backlash of their anger and abuse. In fact, this trend is growing at a concerning rate, and the Shop Distributive and Allied Employees Association launched this campaign in late December 2017 to address this issue. So, how does this impact the thousands of Australians employed in these roles? And what has actually changed since the launch of this campaign? This is Alex Jackson. Alex has worked part-time at Coles for 3 years and experienced the worrying levels of abuse of customers in this role.
Sunday morning here, I had an older type man come in and he threatened to bash my head in, and he was covered in blood, and he just completely threatened me, and all because I just asked him how his day was going so far.
And has there been any other experiences where you felt that people really overreacted, that customers in particular?
Oh, definitely. Yeah, I had one woman a couple of weeks ago, and she accused me of scanning the wrong type of tomatoes. So she actually rang the store phone every day for 2 weeks straight to complain about me to several different staff members.
And how has that affected how you work? Like, do you feel unsafe at all?
Yeah, definitely, to a degree. You know, there's always that paranoia that, you know, if I'm not safe here at a supermarket, where am I safe?
Union New South Wales is currently under the process of launching the Dignity and Respect at Work campaign that requires acceptable behaviour of everyone in the workplace, customers included. Emma Maiden is Assistant Secretary for Union New South Wales at Trades Hall, who helps run this campaign and others like it.
It's not just a case of saying we'll just develop a thick skin. We all know how hard those roles are. It isn't acceptable to say it's part of the job. There are things that employers can do to reduce or hopefully eliminate those risks.
Luke Delanato is another fast food worker who has worked at McDonald's for 4 years. Luke has seen firsthand the impact abusive customers can have on workers.
So what usually triggers angry customers?
There's not many, from my experience, there's not many inside problems that we cause. It's mostly outside problems that they bring in. So we've had a lot of problems in drive-through where they do say it's too slow. So we would have cars backed up. We always get the beep to tell us to hurry up. But there was one time where 2 customers actually got out of their car and they actually walked up to the drive-through and they started yelling at us.
Have you seen any other workers who've experienced this sort of abuse and it's just really affected them?
Yes, definitely. She was very emotional, and there would be times where customers would often yell at her, and she would actually have to go to the back area, and she would actually go to the crew room, and she would just bawl, start crying.
So the big questions remain. How does this hostility with customer service affect work performance? Why are Australian customers so angry? And just how much of a psychological effect can this sort of abuse have? Cassandra Thompson Christensen is a practicing psychologist with an honours in psychology from the University of Sydney.
So over 3 million people in Australia have anxiety and or depression, and one of the main symptoms of them is irritability and low tolerance. Abuse, emotional verbal abuse, can lead to lower self-confidence and self-worth. This can ultimately lead to depression itself, and also it can lead to withdrawal from the workplace. So having this lower self-confidence can make them have work performance anxiety.
But what does this mean for the customer? And what is it that makes them tick? Dr. Maura Scarry from the University of Technology Sydney Business School is a lecturer in operations and supply management and specialises in consumer behaviour.
Yeah, I think when we think about, we call them J customers, right? So when we think about customers that are acting in socially inappropriate ways, then much of that comes from the stress that they're feeling. They have emotional labour just by nature of them having to deal with people, and this is a part of the job that they're not getting paid for, because in this case the customer is not always right, and we were always taught that the customer is right, or always right, and there's no excuse for poor behaviour and particularly antisocial behaviour.
And although the SDA's campaign has brought light to this issue, the cycle of angry customer and victim worker in the retail and fast food industry is still in motion. It seems that there needs to be more systems and services in place to ensure the safety and well-being of both customer and worker.